if you're ever unsure whether a learning activity is classed as formal or informal CPD, you're not alone. Quantity surveyors every year second guess what should and shouldn't be recorded right up to the chartership deadline. Now, this isn't just a cause of admin stress. It could actually make your application non-compliant. So it's really important to understand what's classed as formal and what's classed as informal CPD. And this is where we thought creating a very short, easy to understand, simple, hopefully useful video will be beneficial to all of you guys out there. So we thought I would take you through the RICS CPD Decision Tree. And this can be used for CICS, QSI, CIOB, and we can look at what is classed as formal and informal CPD. Okay, so this is a decision tree like any other decision tree, so we follow the steps down. If we answer yes, we go down one course. If we state no, we go down another course. So the first one is, does the learning enhance your current knowledge or develop technical skills? If the answer is no, stop there. It doesn't count as CPD in any regards and shouldn't be recorded. If yes, we move on. So that's what we'll do. Okay, is the topic relevant to the profession, your role, or your specialism? If the answer is no again, it won't count as formal CPD. But if it is, then we're now firmly in CPD territory. Okay, now this is where it gets a bit more confusing, whether it's informal or formal CPD. But very simply, learning is informal CPD if it's self-assessed, there's no formal structure, there's no independent assessment, and there's little to no interaction. So this is like reading industry articles, listening to podcasts, watching on-demand webinars, or researching guidance notes. It's still valuable, but it falls under the informal CPD category. Now, formal CPD is, so this is if it includes most or all of the following. It follows a structured program. There's an agenda, a course outline, a learning schedule. It has predefined learning objectives. Sometimes there's interactions with others, classroom, virtual classroom, or conference. There's an assessment by an independent subject matter expert or a test. And evidence can be verified if requested. So common examples of this are accredited training courses, like the ones we have at Metroun Learning, live webinars with Q&As, conferences, seminars, and assessed online courses. So if you're ever thinking, this feels like proper training, it's probably formal CPD. And there's some rules that we like to follow. So all of your chartership, so RICS, definitely, CICS, the majority of them may ask you for proof. So look at a certificate of attendance or certificate of completion. Look at joining links and confirmation emails. Keep them. Keep your course agendas and any screenshots of any completion pages. We recommend saving them as you go and not at the end of the year when your inboxes are chaos. So our advice is don't overthink it. Focus on relevance and structure. Aim for formal CPD early on in the year and then use informal CPD to top up naturally. Good CPD isn't about ticking boxes. It's about staying competent, credible, and confident in your role. So at Metroun, we've specifically built a platform for quantity surveyors and construction professionals with formal CPD that I think we're at 60 hours at the moment that is purely focused on quantity surveyors and construction professionals. So if you want CPD to support your career, rather than stressing out every January, come to us. You found the right place. Metroun, a commercial hub for your business.